Welcome back to the Weekly Podcast. Yada 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 bullshit. Tabor's back. Hi, Tabor.
Yeah, baby. Hey.
So Tabor, how are your Houston Rockets doing this year? On this football podcast.
Jalen Green looks great.
Does he? I haven't watched a single game from the Houston Rockets.
Yeah, I'll tell you that Jalen Green, our players look great. The team does not. We need a new coach.
Players plural.
We need another high. Huh?
Players plural look good.
Yeah. Like the players themselves, like we don't have any like real playmakers. Like no one's really like balling out in assists right now. So like nobody's really out there. Like they can create shots for themselves pretty well. It's not getting put together.
At least
so the team sucks.
Fun to watch. But what wasn't fun to watch was that Bills game yesterday. We're not going to talk about that. That was just.
All I have to say is, go Patriots. I don't know.
Shut the fuck
rather than the Jets.
All right. Well, we're gonna go back to the first topic, basketball, because I don't want to talk about that no more. Because the topic of this is we're gonna each pick 3 basketball players and argue why they'd be good NFL players, all because LeBron had to go out and tweet saying that he could be, like, he was asking about his eligibility to come back to Ohio State, which, weird move, not to shout out the Akron Zips for some reason. Why wouldn't you go want to play college ball in your hometown? Like, he reps Akron a lot, but they got a shitty football team. You think he'd want to make them better?
Well, maybe it's maybe he just wants to go to like a big name. Maybe Ohio State would like back him in some way. Who knows?
I mean, he's been in the NBA for like 20-something years. How much more money does he need for backing?
I don't know.
I think Akron.
Why would he pick Ohio State?
I think Akron needs the billboard material more than Ohio fucking State does. Number 1 ranked in the country, Ohio State does.
He just wants to be on the winning team. He'll have such a good team that he'll look good even if he's bad.
That's fair. But I mean, he'd have to play tight end, right? There's no way LeBron doesn't play tight end or something offense.
Yeah. I don't think he has the technique built up to be like a edge rusher.
Oh, fuck it.
Like a
quarterback. Fuck CJ Stroud.
Okay.
Fuck CJ Stroud.
Okay.
My quarterback.
Yeah, see how that goes.
But, so, yeah, we went through, and after, inspired by that tweet, inspired in the biggest quotation marks ever, a month later, we decided to come together and record something to talk about that. And I think we have a weird collection of guys. We told each other who we were going to be doing ahead of time, but there is one player we are not touching, and that is Shaquille O'Neal. In his prime, Shaquille O'Neal. Like, I just have no idea. Where would he play? Like D tackle? Is he like the most unathletic D tackle of all time?
Long snapper? I don't fucking know. What would he do? He runs like a 17-second 40. What is he gonna do?
I mean, if you're Star Lou Tulele copy, you can put Shaq out there. He can do that job.
The only quarterback in the league he'd be able to run down is like a hurt ankle Peyton Manning. Like, who is he chasing down? He'd like be able to power rush any tackle, and then immediately it wouldn't work.
I mean, he's 7'1", right? And he's got that super long arms. So, like, you put him on a field goal block, you put him over the center, have him just blow the center backwards, and just stick his hands in the air and just knock down any balls that gets thrown. He doesn't have to get sacks; just get a bunch of pass breakups to the line of scrimmage.
Did you see the video of him trying to jump over the like barrier at like a movie theater or something?
No, what? No.
He like tried to jump over it like sideways and just fell on his. I'll send it to you.
Oh jeez.
It's so funny how just like unable he is.
That reminds me, like he's a Hall of Fame basketball player, but he's such like a crap like athlete. Like if I was 7'1", 280, I think I could do what he did, and I wasn't good in high school athletics. Like he
See,
can't
but there are
run.
plenty of like 7-foot basketball players that can't do what he did.
That's fair. That's fair. I'm not saying he didn't work hard, but like he's not fast. I could dunk if I was 7'1", but he's probably he could eat me. So I'm gonna stop saying bad things about Shaquille O'Neal.
Eat me.
That when you said he could try to jump over the barricade, it kind of reminded me of I can't remember who it was, but someone said they were comparing Zach Randolph to Blake Griffin because Blake Griffin came in and they kind of had like a little beef going on, and they said that Zach Randolph couldn't jump over a phone book. He was just like this giant power forward, and it was like Blake Griffin was this power forward who like could like do all the flashy shit. Yeah, Blake Griffin's known for. And then
Right.
there was Zach Randolph who was beefing with him, who would just like punch him in the face, but couldn't do half the shit he could do.
He could try his best,
Yeah,
and that's what
but,
matters.
I'll get us started then. And we've already discussed how you're a fan of the Houston Rockets, so it's only good or equal if I admit to the team I root for, which hasn't been the greatest start to the season, but I didn't expect much to be great from the start of the season just because we were trying to work everyone back into the lineup after a bunch of injuries. But I'm going to start off with, and this is probably the most outrageous one I got, is Nikola Jokic, right? We were talking about big men who can't move. But unlike
Sure.
Shaq, Jokic has like a 17th sense on where everyone is at all times everywhere. And he's lost some weight. He can move a little more. He's a big fellow who can move a little bit more. So I'm throwing him. He is my quarterback, my 7-foot tall, 7'1" quarterback back there, Nikola Jokic.
He's your quarterback.
Yeah, I mean he could probably move
can
just
throw?
as good as Peyton Manning. He averages like 10 assists a game. The man throws more backwards passes than fucking Chris Paul.
Yeah, that's back. How many backwards passes are you throwing in the? Pat Mahomes didn't even throw in a backwards pass.
He's practicing it though. I've seen the
Like
videos.
behind his back, and nah.
I'm just saying.
I mean, if he can throw it like down the field or down the court, and he's able to throw dots for assists, then like yeah.
He
sure.
does the touchdown pass assist all the time. Like they try at least once a game.
Okay. All right.
The only reason why they don't hit it is that the defenders run back there with him. So he hits those all the time. He's got like insane awareness, and he's 7 foot. Who's knocking that ball down? And his hands are like the size of the football itself. Like he's gunning that shit. Now, he's not gonna be able to run around, but like 2015 Peyton Manning didn't even run around.
He is going to he's gonna need like a prime a couple, how many years ago was it, Rams, like what Todd Gurley was running behind. That's the O-line that he needs.
Man, if I had Nikola Jokic quarterback, I would invest every single asset I have into getting an offensive line, and I would just say fuck defense. I'm trading everything for offensive line receivers and just putting him back there and be like, okay, make some magic, big man, who has never played football probably in his life because he's from fucking Serbia.
Not even if you have the O-line, right, just get like one decent receiver, and then just I can trust him with a Aaron Rodgers strategy of just throw the practice squad out there and have like one Devontae Adams.
All right, so who's your first pick here out of your guys you got?
All right, I think I'll go, since you went for one that was kind of unexpected, a little quirky, some might say. I'll do the same. I'll say our buddy Dwayne Wade. And I think I'd have him. He is. Let me pull up his how big he is. He's 6'4". I believe he's like 190-ish, or was 190. So I'd say I don't know what he is now. I couldn't tell you, but he had the athleticism. He was a smart player. I think throw him out at strong safety maybe. He could read the offense. He could all he has to do is cover the furthest guy. All he has to do is cover the deepest guy. I think he can manage that. And if he needs to lay the hit out on somebody, I trust him. I trust him to lay the hit.
Has he ever like because I'm relatively new to basketball. I'm relatively new to basketball fandom. Was he known for like hitting people or like tackling dudes in games?
No.
I feel like I heard about it, like a story about him going like hard against somebody in like a preseason game or something for no reason.
Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know. I originally laughed at a 6'4" safety, but I mean, like Kyle Hamilton just went 14th overall, and he's 6'4", so I mean, it's not
Right.
crazy.
I think that, if you pair him with another safety on the other side that kind of has, um, that's kind of more of like a prototypical like free safety build than like
Okay.
someone who maybe isn't as big but might have more of the speed to him or
So
like the ball
you're looking
hawking
at
skills.
you're asking Dwayne to be like, okay, you're either just find tight end and stay on his ass, or run up there and hit somebody. Like you're just be an athlete.
Let Dwayne play the Jamal Adams role.
Okay, I can see that. I think Jamal's like 6'3". He's not. Or no, maybe he's 5'11". I don't remember. I actually don't know. I haven't seen him play forever.
There's a big difference between 6'3" and 5'11".
I was thinking about Kyle Hamilton. And I was like, Jamal Adams. And I was like,
Wait.
6'3".
let me look up while you do yours. I can look up how tall he is.
He's 6'1". I was in the middle.
It was in the okay. All right. He's only 27. Never mind. That's unimportant.
Why is he not playing this year? He tore his Achilles, right?
I don't even know. Tore something.
He tore something. So my next one. Okay, I'm gonna go back to a little more prototypical. So we started out with.
Okay.
I established my quirky pick for like
Sure.
to establish my favorite team and just to get a little fun out there. But the one that everyone's gonna pick, right, is gonna be 7 foot tall, 240 pound Giannis Antetokounmpo at wide receiver. Maybe tight end. Because I mean, if anyone's played 2K, you know how fast that man runs. He's like the fastest character in the game while also being like the largest. So like, it's just not fair. He's built different. Like he's like, can you imagine him? He's like Calvin Johnson on steroids.
Yeah.
I mean, his hands are gigantic. He's catching everything. I don't even think they make gloves in his size of hand. He's catching everything. If you watch his highlight blocks, it's just insane. Like, from the length and, like, distance away he can jump to get those shits is ridiculous. And, I mean, again, he's kind of fast. Who's covering that? What 5'11" DB are you putting on him? Like, Sauce Gardner is 6'4", right? So, like, he's, like, one of the taller DBs, and he's pretty good.
Right.
He is still 8 inches shorter than Giannis.
If you put the ball high enough, you'd have to just try to hit him hard enough to where he drops it. That's your only bet. Unless you're going to, like, climb him to get to his arms at, like, 8 foot in the air by the time he jumps.
You have to scale, like, if it's in the end zone and you have him running over the middle, you have to scale the goalpost and then, like, parkour, jump, and tuck and roll off of it to get the ball.
That's all you get.
Like, I don't understand who could cover him. Like, I can't conceivably think of a person who is of such a mix of height and like, maybe he's just fast for basketball, but basketball players are fucking athletic as shit. And he's, like, a god among men when it comes to that.
Even that, like, even if he's not the fastest, then it's like, okay, he's not the fastest. We can put some guys on him that can, like, I don't know, we can maybe double team him or, like, throw a linebacker on him too. But then, to me, that immediately frees up an offense. Say you have put Giannis on the Dolphins. Who is stopping? What defense is stopping the duo of Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle with Giannis, not Jaundice, Giannis Antetokounmpo sprinting dead at you? You have two, like, Ferraris to your left and right, and then straight ahead, you have a fucking H1 Hummer barreling toward you, and you're just a little fucking Corolla.
I think you have a better chance of fucking covering a tree than Giannis. Like, a straight up tree is probably easier to cover than Giannis.
At least a tree you can climb. Right.
Giannis is gonna be, I mean, you have to pass interfere him, right? Like, you just put him at tight end and just run him down the middle of the field, and you run him like, just like, a linebacker's got to pick him up, a safety's got to pick him up, a corner's probably there too, hoping the quarterback just doesn't throw it high enough that he can jump up and get it.
You just have to hope the quarterback's bad enough.
Now here's a question. Put Giannis right now on Tennessee Titans. Do they let Malik Willis throw it more than 7 times a game?
I don't know. But when I checked I don't know what he ended with, but I checked the game when it was in overtime, and I saw that they could have possibly won with a stat line of 5 for 15 for 80 yards. I almost cried.
I think
That
it
was
9
so
total
funny.
passes against the Texans, and they won.
How? Like it's just
Derrick Henry.
I don't understand that team.
The same football team is insane.
People would die. People would actually die. And then the second someone tried to fight one of them and Taylor Lewan would come out and just destroy them, like you can't do anything.
Yeah, I think they'd let Malik Willis throw it like maybe 6 times a game if Giannis Antetokounmpo was on their team. Because then Giannis is good for at least one throw in his direction. Since none of the other wide receivers want him.
Right. Guaranteed, at least.
All right, hit me with your second player. We talked to death. Giannis was the obvious answer. I just had to put it out there.
Right. Yeah. I'll also go for what might be an obvious answer. I don't know, for those of you who remember the incident that happened where a certain player ran through like 50 people to try to get at a certain LeBron James. It was about almost a year ago now, wasn't it?
It had to have been. I think it's at least a year, right? It was in the
11 months.
Oh, it's been 11
At
months.
least the Bleacher Report video was 11 months, posted 11 months ago. But Isaiah Stewart at like 6'8", 250, 6'8", 250. I feel like you could put him at multiple places. You know, he already showed that he could barrel through a crowd. So I think, you know, he has some running back chops. I don't know how fast he is though. But short yard scenario, I think he can guarantee you a couple yards. You need to punch it in the goal line, he got you. If you need like a linebacker to just handle business, really. Get like a good rushing linebacker. I don't know. I don't think he'd do good in coverage. But
I mean, if he just stood in the middle of the field and just put his arms out and like waved them back and forth, you're not throwing over the middle. That's like a 9-foot radius you can't throw into.
You just use him in packages where you need someone to just hit somebody as hard as they can.
Not punching.
Anytime you need someone to get hit, not punch. No, not that. He might get ejected a lot. But you need someone to lay a hit. I think he'd be one of the hardest hitters in the league.
If Vontaze Burfict was 6'8".
Yes.
You got a whole Greg Rousseau who wanted to punch LeBron James in the mouth. I'm pretty sure that's a little intimidating. That reminds me of do you know Ed Too Tall Jones is? I mean, he's a meme now because of Madden, but like, do you know why he was a player in football?
Ed Jones?
Yeah.
No.
So Ed Too Tall Jones, I'm fairly certain this is the right guy I'm talking about because Secret Base used to be what was her name? What did it used to be?
Too Tall Jones out of Cowboys?
Cowboys, yeah. He was,
okay.
Let me see. I'm just double checking to make sure I have the right idea.
Number 72.
No.
He was 6'9". Let's take a look at his stats. What was this guy putting up as a 6'9" D end? He only recorded double-digit sacks twice in his career. One was when he was 34 years old, and one was when he was 36 years old.
It was not Ed Too Tall Jones then. There was the Cowboys literally picked up a basketball player, like a center that couldn't cut in basketball, and he was like
center.
He was like 7 foot tall, and they would let him like just stand. What is his name? Yeah, okay. So it was they changed the ruling because they used to have this. I can't remember what his name is. If you look it up it's on Secret Bases. It's on weird rules. There was a rule that was made because of this guy, but they signed or drafted this like basketball player who had never played football before. He was like 7 6'1" or something like that. He was hilariously large. And they literally just put him in the back of the end zone on field goals. And so the field goal was like a line drive or low enough that like it's like just over the crossbar. This dude would jump up and just swat them down. And like while it was about to cross the goal, if it was low enough of a field goal, he would jump up right at the back of the end zone and just hit the ball from going through the goalposts.
Was it Rico Gathers?
No, Rico Gathers is like a wide receiver.
It's like a tight end.
Yeah.
I tried looking up code, like, buzzwords. Yeah, and the first name that came up was former Baylor hoop star Rico Gathers.
Oh, what was his name? Morris Stroud. Okay, he was 6'10". So Morris Stroud, he was a basketball player the Cowboys hired to just swat field goals at the goalpost. So, I mean, that could be an Isaiah. That's like Isaiah Stewart in the middle of That's what this all wrapped back around to. We went on this like 10-minute side tangent to just talk about how Isaiah Stewart could play in the NFL.
He's dead? Morris Stroud is dead? He died October 17th, 2016 in Kansas City. I thought this was like... I didn't realize this was that long ago.
Yeah, no, it's old. It's old as
I
fuck.
thought this was like... I don't know. Where he would be in his like 70s or 80s age. When would he have to play for that?
Out of the silence. He's dead? No, Isaiah Stewart's not dead.
Not Isaiah Stewart.
What was his name? It was Aaron.
Morris Stroud. Not Isaiah Stewart is not dead. You heard it here first.
Just to make sure.
Confirmed. Isaiah Stewart is not dead.
Oh, okay. Correction. He played for the Chiefs from 1969 to
Yes.
1974. He was a tight end. I mean, he's just an example of why this shit would not have worked with the whole premise of this podcast. He played 69 games. He had a total of 977 total receiving yards in 69 games. So, I mean, I guess he was kind of productive, but not near. He's dead?
It just perplexed me. I don't know.
All right. I'm going on my last one. Speaking about dead people, a lot of people wish this person was dead.
What? I don't even remember who this is.
So you put Dwayne Wade at safety, right? I'm putting 6'2", 190-pound Patrick Beverly at strong safety, and just giving him the honey badger role and just letting him have it. Just get in there, grab someone by the dick, start a fight, get people ejected.
You know, he's gonna have the mouth of like Jalen Ramsey.
I mean, if he's like a strong safety, like Tyrann Mathieu, if he just gets in there, he gives us some run support, doesn't fuck up in coverage too much, gets people pissed off, he'll earn his money.
He's gonna get like how is it? I want to see how he does in man. I want to see how much holding happens in man-to-man coverage. I want to see his success in that role.
I didn't even think of that. I mean, he has good change of direction. Like he's a good defender, like a good man basketball defender. But yeah,
he's gonna flip his hips.
Fuck it, why not?
If he gets beat on a zig route,
he's gonna face mask someone as soon as he gets beat. He's just gonna reach for the face mask and break their fucking neck. He's gonna horse collar tackle everybody. Hell with the helmet. What's that?
That's not a real rule. I can do what I want.
Yeah. So I just need a menace to society to get in the pile and especially if there's like a football, like a scrum because of a fumble, he's in the middle of that. I want him right there. That's exactly where I want him. Just
sure. I'm sure he could force a couple fumbles too.
Oh, 100%. Pickpocket master in 2K.
Okay.
So yeah, that's my. I think that besides Giannis, which is the most obvious pick, like Jokic at quarterback, that's a little stupid. Shaq, we already ruled him out. But like, I think that's a good little player to position conversion. Maybe not man coverage, but like, you give him a little robber route in zone coverage. Just, like, don't let anybody go in front of you. Like, imagine if he was in the middle of the field, right? Like a cover one robber. So he's got like the short 5 to 10 over the middle slants and stuff. And someone throws a slant and they're running right at him and they go for the catch. He is killing that person.
They're not holding on to that ball.
Exactly.
Unless they're like D-Hop.
Even then, he's gonna like just stab him in the testicles or something, or poke his eyes out, and he's gonna drop.
Sure.
It's fucking Patrick Beverley, and I love this man. I am on the Patrick Beverley fanboy train. But anyway,
I'm glad you are.
I am. I also had an idea, but I'll get into that later for another video. But we'll talk about that later. Go ahead now. Hit me with your last pick. I think I remember who you said, but pretty sure I'm gonna be absolutely perplexed.
Yeah, so my last pick is on the opposite side of the spectrum. He might be one of the least hated. I wouldn't call him one of like the most liked. I don't know if he is. But I'm sure he's one of the least hated in the league. In De'Aaron Fox, the swiper. Speedy guy, small dude. He's in the position I put him in, he's not small at all. But in NBA terms, he's small at 6'3". His wingspan is 6'6". He's fast enough. He's shifty enough. Put him in slot.
That's insane.
Cole Beasley, he's out. Cole Beasley's out.
Like,
get a new slot receiver in there. Throw him in.
He's the same height as Gabe Davis, and he's considered small for his sport. Like, we're putting him at the slot because the idea is that he's a shorter player. But, like, no, he's, like, one of the taller receivers. Like, 6'5" receivers are thought of to be, like, giants. Like, if you're taller than 6'5", you're probably not working as a receiver. This dude is 6'3", and you're like, hey, he's small enough. Well, he's a little on the smaller side. We'll throw him in the slot.
You know?
I want to see him in the slot versus P-Bev rolled down as a man cover safety on the slot and just see who wins that rep.
See, but also, if you have De'Aaron Fox, like, if you have a mismatch with a linebacker, I trust De'Aaron Fox to win that matchup. For sure.
The shortest player we talked about was like 6'2" and Patrick Beverley. Everyone else is absolute giants. That's ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, I haven't watched in my 4 years of being an NBA fan. I have not caught a single Sacramento Kings game that didn't involve my Denver Nuggets. So I would have no idea what the hell De'Aaron Fox does good, but he has won me some money on Prize Picks. I'll give him that.
I mean, there you go.
Speaking of which, I gotta put my bets in for today. But before I do that, let's wrap this up. In conclusion, LeBron, I don't think you can go back to college, even though you never played at college, so maybe. Shaq, don't even try it. Giannis is a cheat code. Who the hell is De'Aaron Fox? And Isaiah Stewart, all-purpose 12th man of the year. That's how we're doing it with mixing the basketball and the football.
12th man of the year. Yeah, that sounds about right.
There you go. I mean, is he even their starting center? He plays for the Thunder?
He plays for the Pistons. He played for the Pistons. I don't know if he's... What is he on right now? He was born in Rochester.
Really?
Yeah, I had no idea.
That is a wrinkle to this story I was not expecting.
He went to McQuaid Jesuit High School.
He's still on the...
What is that? Is that real? Is that a real place? Where is this?
Probably some private school. I don't know. Even if it was a public school, I don't know any Rochester high schools.
It is in Rochester. It's like just outside the main city, like downtown.
Maybe that's why he wants to kill everybody he plays against, because he's from Rochester.
Because he lived in Rochester?
They have the highest crime rate of any city in based on population size in the entire country.
Well, it's only right that they would produce a true Black Air Force energy player. And then he moved to Indianapolis, I guess, for a boarding school. They put him in boarding school.
Speaking of Black Air Force centers,
what?
Wrapping this up. That was this is the end of the podcast. But if you guys are if anybody listening, even if you aren't, I kind of want to do this anyway. I'm thinking about making a basketball adjacent channel and talking about basketball. Probably like I try to make this one weekly, but you know how consistent that is. So I don't know how frequently talking basketball on that channel would happen, but I definitely want to make a series about the all Black Force One basketball lineup, like starting lineup. And Isaiah Stewart might just have to be the center.
Hey, if we do the reverse, we're put NFL players out on the basketball court.
Oh,
we
we
need
could
a
do
Black
the
Air
reverse
Force
of
One
that.
player.
Well, maybe I have to make this
Just
channel
put
even
Pickens.
now.
Just put Pickens out there. Put Pickens out there. Just put him out there. He doesn't need to be able to shoot. He doesn't need to be able to pass. Just throw him out there.
I mean, he's like what, 6'2", 6'1"? He had to be a point guard. There's nobody tall enough in the NFL to be a NBA center. Like, we have this who's the tallest player. I mean,
hey, the Rockets had PJ Tucker in at center, so anything is possible.
if you just believe hard enough.
Yeah, how tall was PJ Tucker?
I think he's 6.
Oh, he was 6'5". You could find someone. Get Greg Rousseau. He's
Greg
good.
Rousseau out there. Miles Garrett can play like power forward. Well, that's for our potential basketball channel we're talking about. I don't know how to end these things.
The end.